Chippewa work boots. We got one here, was built in the 90s, 1999, versus one that was built just a couple of years ago. Let's see what the differences are. So when we talk about quality, where does Chippewa fall in that? Well, as you can see, this boot right here is a Chippewa USA. And this one was built in late 99 or 2000. And as time goes on, quality usually gets worse. So let's take a look. Let's compare this against a Chippewa that was built 2 years ago. So, first of all, let's look at the one that was built 2 years ago. This right here is a Paladin, which is, this one is made, I think, in Vietnam. It is. It's made in Vietnam. This is a waterproof boot. The other one, the older one, is not. Okay, so you have all these staples here, first of all, and these staples are what they put on there before they stitch it to hold the upper onto the gemming. And this is the waterproof boot. And then you've got a pad here. And I mean, that's a pretty decent looking pad. I mean, it's not natural material, it's not cork, but you know, it does fit in there fairly well. And if we look at the leather here, I mean, it's not the greatest as far as thickness is concerned, but it's about average. All right. So, and if we look at the shank there is pretty decent. It is a metal 3-rib shank or steel 3-rib shank. All right. Now, let's look at the one that was built in, well, hold on, before we get to that. Let's look at the, here we go. This right here is the midsole. Okay, and then there's a slip sole here. All right, now, it's leather, right? No, it's pressed leather or leather board. So they take a bunch of ground up leather and they put some sort of a bonding agent with it, and they press it out into a sheet, and then they use this. They cut it out. So this is not leather. It does tear. So it's going to have some of the properties of leather, but it's not true full grain leather. All right. Now let's look at the one that was built in the late 90s, early 2000. Older is better. You know, the way things used to be built, right? So there's the leather, and I will tell you that the leather looks about the same as far as the thickness is concerned. Now, I can measure it with a micrometer, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to tell you that just from feeling them, they're the same thickness. I mean, within, you know, half a millimeter. I mean, they're the same thickness. But if you look at this, the padding here, okay, this one does not have any padding. It did have this that went over the top of the steel toe to help with the transition. This has some padding up here, some of this foam, thin foam. And this here is a strap that actually went over, I think it held the steel toe in place because it went underneath here. You can see where they overlapped. All right. So you've got the insole, you've got the midsole, and again, this is not leather. Now they say it's leather when you look at the old catalogs, but I'm telling you right now, it is not full grain leather. It is leather board, and you can actually see here that where it's got the pattern there. Okay, so this is leather board or pressed leather, reconstituted leather, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and it does have a slip sole as well, slip sole, midsole, and then you've got the insole assembly, and there's your padding. That's just it looks like carpet underlayment, and it's kind of starting to flake apart and stuff. I mean, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. That's awful. All right, so this goes on here like this, and then it would sit on this. And again, this is a pretty heavy shank. This is heavier than the shank that comes on the new ones. And then underneath, when I first saw this, let me see here. Where was this? Oh, it was right here. There was I thought it was a leather shank, but you know what it is? It looks like the leather shanks they put in the Pacific Northwest boots. It's a piece of cardboard. I don't have it with me right now, otherwise I would put it there. But then this sits on top, like that. And then here's the inside of the boot. And it's lined, but it's not waterproof. You got some, like, I guess, cambrel or cabrel or whatever they call that lining there. But based on the construction of this boot, I mean, it has more components in it, but they're not natural components. I would say that the new one, based on what I'm seeing here, I would say that the newer one is actually built better than what the older one was. Now, you know, granted, technology, you know, helps improve things. And as technology gets better, you would expect that to happen. But that usually is not the case. Usually the stuff that's older is built much better. But if I were, you know, lamenting not being able to buy an older Chippewa boot, yeah, you can put that to rest. You can put that to rest. And now that these are made in the United States, I do not know if the construction is the same. This one again is made in Vietnam, but it's built pretty decent. Is it built to be worth? The USA model now, the Super Logger, is $400. Is it worth $400? I don't think so. Not compared to like a Frank's Patriot. You know, and then there is your leather welt, and now that does look like it's leather, but and here's the gemming off the new one, or the old one, I'm sorry. This is the gemming off of the old one. Oh, and the old one did have you would call this, in a Pacific Northwest boot, you would call this a lineman shank, but it's not very thick. And again, it's the leather board or pressed leather. As you can see there, you can see where it tears, and it looks like cardboard when you tear it. So, not real impressed. I was expecting more off of this than what I see here, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have these uppers rebuilt into something. We'll see.